Well, here we are, ladies and gents, for part 3 of the lamb prosciutto. It has been in the second cure for the last, I think, was it 3 days? Yeah. There is some moisture on the bottom, as you can see here. So now I'm going to remove all the cling film and see how the meat looks underneath. As you can see, a lot of moisture does look as if it's come out of this, but we are going to crack on with the third part. So first what I have to do is scrape off all of the spices, and then it's going to get a very special wash. And now it's time to give the lamb a little bath. And this is a very special bath, because it's getting a bath in red wine. Some Cabernet Sauvignon, no less. So, wash off all the spices with the wine. And what the wine is doing is it's adding some acidity into the process. Look at the colour of that, it looks amazing. There you go. Looks and smells fantastic. Those little bits of rosemary off. Okay, it's looking and feeling good. So it's had its little bath from the wine. The meat has dried up a little, as you can see. I did have some of that dry rub spice mix left, so what I've done is I've added quite a lot of pepper, fresh ground pepper, and a little more salt, but not too much salt because there was a lot of salt in this. So I'm just going to sprinkle this over. Now the method that I'm going to be doing is changed slightly from what I initially started it out to be, because I saw something else on YouTube that I thought would be great for this. So this is the method that I'm going to be employing. So cover your spice mix all over once again, into the nooks and crannies. What I'm going to do is give them a liberal coating of salt. And the last bit of this before we tie it up is coat it in salt. Okay, now it's had a coating of salt. There is one last thing that needs to be done before we tie it up. So here we have the meat that has been coated with the remainder of the spices. This is the third and last cure. We did soak it and wash all the spices off with red wine and let that sit for a little while to get into the meat. Then we used the rest of the spices that we had left with the addition of some extra pepper and a little bit of salt, and then we've sprayed some sea salt liberally all over the top. Now the very final stage before the tying up is adding this to the outside. This is lard, and lard is another name for pork fat. So this needs to be smeared all over So here we have the lamb completely covered in lard. So now it's come to the time to do the stringing up process. So I do have some twine here. I'm going to tie the first knot at the knuckle at this side. So I have tied it up at one end and I've put a loop, tied a knot, and that is for hanging when we go to hang it. So now what you have to do is get your meat, make a loop, so 1673, 983 plate, that gives me so the meat and the plate together is 1673 grams. The plate was 983. When I subtract that, that gives me a weight of 690 grams is the meat. So then we have to calculate a 35% loss. So we have 690 grams and we want to take away 35% of that. That gives me 448.5 grams. So target weight, I'll make a little label for this, is 448.5 grams. And here we are in my garage, which is nice and cool. I took the temperature and I think it was 8 degrees, which is perfect. It needs to be hung somewhere between 3 and 13 degrees. So 8 degrees is perfect. So we'll leave that there and I will weigh it once every week. Probably after the first month. I think it needs a month at least. So I'll let that go a month and then I'll weigh it, and then when it gets to 35% loss, it's ready to eat.